Hey, it says so on the label, so you know it's true. This one, I don't know if you can read or not, but it says right on the label, it kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. There may have been a time that was true, except the reality is what's in this container is a half a roll of paper towels soaked in our own homemade version of sanitizer. I think it works. I think it's just as good as the stuff that was here originally, but I'm no scientist, no doctor, and I certainly don't know. So I don't know if the label's accurate or not. I am fairly certain that most of the labels that we put on people or maybe on ourselves are not accurate and not healthy and not helpful. When I was a kid, I went to church and heard a lot of preaching, and I would hear someone occasionally talk about Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And one of the things that he had to say there relates to what I want to share with you today. We're talking about thought patterns, and that if we change our thinking, if we have better thoughts, we have a better life. And one of the negative thoughts, Dr. Amin calls them automatic negative thoughts or ants that we get into our head and need to get out. One of those is labeling. We put labels on people and ourselves. And so when I was a kid, I heard this preaching about Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, and it says there, don't call anyone Raka. Hey, I'm good. That was easy. I've never been tempted to call anybody Raka. But he went on to say that you should also not call anybody fool. Whoever does call someone fool is in danger of the fires of hell. I didn't want to be in that danger, so I was very careful not to call anybody fool. Now, I might call people stupid or idiots or morons. Hey, I was a bad kid. What can I say? But I didn't call anybody that word. Now, as I got older and went to college, I was a ministry major, and that's weird, I understand. But it gets worse. As I went forward, I began to take some Greek classes, which is really weird. And one of the things I learned just kind of shocked me, really blew me away. Early vocabulary word. There's this word that's translated in the Sermon on the Mount as fool, and guess what it is? It's the word moron. All those years being the attorney junior, I had found what I thought was a loophole. And so I thought I'd found a way to avoid being in danger of the fire of hell by calling people moron, when it turns out that's exactly the word that Jesus used. Labels can be very dangerous. They can be very hurtful for other people and for ourselves. So I think what Jesus was saying was not so much the particular word that you use, but it's this concept. Don't label somebody. He was saying all of that in the context of don't kill, don't even be angry, don't even say negative things about people. What if you applied that to yourself as well? I regularly talk to people who are wrestling with some emotional difficulties, and one of the things that I have found is people will put labels on themselves that they know they should never put on someone else and probably wouldn't, at least not out loud. We know we're not supposed to call somebody else stupid, and so generally we would avoid that. But I've had people who refer to themselves as stupid. Or they'll do what I did. Did you catch me earlier when I said I was just a bad kid? That really isn't true. I did some bad things. I think every kid does. But I really wasn't a bad kid because no one word captures all of anybody. Is there one word that summarizes all of you? But if we're not careful, we will take those labels and apply them to ourselves, and we start feeling bad about ourselves, and we're not going to enjoy life much that way. And I have people say to me, well, I'm a bad husband, or I'm a bad wife, or sometimes I'm a bad parent or child, or I'm stupid, or I'm just no good, or I'm awful. Those are not healthy labels to put on yourself or someone else. And when we do that, we begin to rob ourselves of joy. We begin to twist our thinking in negative ways, and we need to untwist that. Let me help you with a label that I think God would approve. One of the things that God says is we are made in his image. Genesis 1:26, let us make man in our own image. And the very next sentence, so that's what he did. God created mankind in his image. we sometimes see products stamped with made in the USA or made in China. We need a stamp that says made in the image of God. And maybe not stamped on your forehead, it needs to be stamped in your head. So here's my suggestion today. Work on that as you go through the day today, remembering and reminding yourself over and over again, I am created in the image of God, and so are these other people around me. The ones making decisions I may disagree with, the ones crowding my space when I go out, whatever it is, made in the image of God. And see if we can't replace those negative labels with that one. I think you'll find it makes you feel better about you. It makes you feel better about other people. It makes you feel better about life, and you'll enjoy it a whole lot more. So let's do that. Let's have a good day, remembering we are made in the image of God.